What is up, everybody? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today we're talking Sixers and Eagles. Joining me is Ryan Reese. Go give him a follow on X at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Not much, man. Ready to talk a little Sixers, and I told him before I'm wearing my one and only Sixers shirt, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we're doing a really quick show here. That way we can get in and out before the Sixers Summer League starts. We'll be doing a post game tonight. But yeah, let's talk Sixers Summer League. Biggest winners so far through 4 games, Ryan. Who you want to take?
Listen, I wish our man Rob was here, but sadly he was a jerk, and he's in Punta Cana. He didn't invite either of us. We could have had a live from Punta Cana show, but I'm gonna say Bona. I am pleasantly surprised. Honestly, I didn't think we would get anything out of this kid. Honestly, I mean, second round pick, it's like, dude, it's such a crapshoot as far as like whether or not any of them even make it through summer league. And honestly, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Obviously he's raw. He's got a long way to go, but I'm really liking the just the way he's a great defender. He absolutely gets his body in the right position, able to kind of play the angles with his body to get rebounds, to cut off defenders. And yeah, he's got a little bit of a scores in him, and I think I just think I'd love to see the development. I mean, again, he's going to be learning from Embiid, from Drummond. These are all great guys to kind of learn from to improve his game, and I'm kind of excited. I think this kid's going to be a decent player in a few years, and an important part of hopefully the 76ers. So I like him.
Yeah, the main sell on this guy coming in was his ability to be an NBA-ready defender, and that has translated from the jump. Yeah. Big-time disruptor in the paint, awesome footwork, solid base to develop into a plus defender in the paint and on the perimeter. His athletic tools are ridiculous, man. There was one time where he threw a turnover, and he went rim to rim and almost caught up to the guy that was like 50 feet ahead of him. His athleticism is the real deal. I think there's real upside when it comes to the pick and roll. His 9 blocks over the Sixers' 3 games in Utah led the Salt Lake City Summer League. He rejected 5 more in the team's win on Saturday night. Weaknesses-wise, he's just raw, man. He just needs more seasoning. He needs to improve his processing speed. His touch around the basket needs to improve. But overall, man, his motor, defensive prowess, the athleticism, man, the guy's potential with the Blue Coats this season is off the charts. So really fun player. I'm going to go with my guy. I've been talking about him the last 2 weeks, seemingly. It's Keve Aluma. This guy has been the real deal. Not an elite athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but he hits the floor of height and speed needed to be an NBA player. Again, not a great athlete, but he's enough of an athlete. His 3-point shot has been better than advertised, which is important to note considering he didn't make a single 3-pointer, Ryan, until his 4th year of college basketball. Since 2021, he's got 655 total 3-pointers between playing for Vatek and overseas teams, and he made 220 of them. That's good for nearly 34%. So he's about an average 3-point shooter, not an elite floor spacer, but you like the volume. You hope that this guy's not just another flash in the pan. I really like his upside as a stretch 4. And he looks like a major weapon in that pick and pop game. He's a guy that can put the ball down and get to the rack. And his athleticism with the ball in his hands is a lot better than I expected. So Keve Aluma, man, give this guy a 2-way contract right meow.
Yeah, he definitely was a guy that wasn't anywhere on my radar, and yeah, he certainly was a pleasant surprise. Yeah, Rick obviously checking in from Facebook. Ricky Council, obviously the star of the show. This dude, against lesser talent, looked like he was the Kobe Bryant of Summer League. He was athletic. He was dunking on fools. He was hitting long threes. Like, he could do it all. It was great. Now, again, let's see it out there in an NBA game on a consistent level, and hopefully he can become a part of a rotation where he's actually getting consistent minutes and doing something with those minutes.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. That where the Sixers have gone from being poor to like rich with wings is really exciting. It's probably ultimately the biggest thing aside from Paul George that I'm excited about to see Maxey and Embiid surrounded by wings for the first time in seemingly forever. Do you have a loser of the Sixers Summer League? I've got a couple.
You go right ahead, please.
Leading off, I'm not a big fan of David Jones. You know, I thought he would have a little more upside. I just don't buy the athleticism. I don't buy his ability to get to the rim. And as a two-way guy, that's a big no-no for me. The other guy, I'm not a big believer in Justin Edwards. I thought he would show me a little bit more. Obviously, he's raw. He's young. You look at him coming in. He's supposed to be a floor spacer, a 6'8". The NBA body is there, so there's reason for excitement like 3-4 years down the road. But man, like he does not have any ability whatsoever to create shots for himself or for his teammates. That's been very evident through 4 Summer League games. I haven't been that impressed by his defense. He is not a point of attack defender. His lack of polish just pops through the screen. He's way too passive at times. Justin Edwards, he's just a guy. Any thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's who I would have gone with. Edwards, there was I think there were multiple games that he had 0 points. Like it just seems
you don't
like,
even know he's out there at times.
Right? Yeah, like exactly. Like it he seems completely lost as to how to get into the flow of a game. So yeah, that's definitely one guy that stuck out for sure. That I was just kind of like, oh boy, like I don't know if this guy is gonna make it too much longer. So
yeah, he's just a guy. All right, let's get into Eagles talk. Most overrated players on the Eagles, Ryan. Again, I promised you we'd get in and out here. We're rolling through. Lead us off, Ryan. Do you have a most overrated Eagle? I've got 2.
I do, of course I do. And again, shout out to our man Rob. You're not here, bro. You're not here to defend, to show the shirt, to do the whole I'm going to die on this mountain. So I'm taking advantage of it. I'm sorry. A certain linebacker that we signed from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Devin White. I think everybody is assuming that this guy is going to be the answer to our linebacking prayers. And honestly, all you needed to do was the one guy who has been crying and screaming at the top of his lungs for a linebacker. When you saw that I wasn't excited, that should have been your first clue. I wasn't excited at all. I mean, this guy couldn't cover in a paper bag. He got benched at the end there at Tampa Bay. He's still young. He still has talent, but man, I'm really hoping that the change of scenery is the thing for him, because he seemed like he lost it. And I just have a feeling people are overhyping him because he's the only one to hype in the linebackers. I mean, no offense to everybody else, but you're not good. The linebackers suck. Like, I am still not happy at all. I have a guy here. There you go. Exactly. There's a reason why there's a reason why he is on that graphic, folks. Listen, I have high hopes for some of our young linebacking core, and I really am pulling for him. But I think at the end of the day, the end of the year, I think we're all going to be looking for new linebackers. I think we're all going to be wanting and praying that Howie drafts a first-round linebacker. Again, how many times did we scream for this linebacker, that linebacker this past draft, and we didn't get one until we got a Trotter Jr. And as much as we all like Trotter Jr., there's a reason why he was a 5th-round pick. He's not ready. He's not there. He has some abilities, yes. And I hope I'm dead wrong. I hope I come back on here, and I hope I put my hand in my hat and I say I was dead wrong. That's nothing I want to be more about Trotter, about what's his face? I, mean, I can't even think of his name. I'm so disappointed in him. Injury guy, third rounder. God, why am I blanking on his name? Dives, help me out.
What, this past year?
No, well, no, it's this is his third year from Georgia, linebacker.
Kobe Dean?
Nakobe Dean. Jeez,
Oh my God, Ryan.
blanked on the name. I know. I just have not been thinking about him because again,
I blankenship on his name.
Yeah, I read Blankenship on his name, but I don't know. I just had to put Devin White. Yeah, listen, that's a good one there, Rick. But yeah, Devin White's my most overrated Eagle for sure right now because we are hyping the F out of him, and I think it's mostly because of need. We need him to be good.
Yeah, Devin White's on my list too. Just because of how much the Eagles ask their linebackers to play both coverage and run support, as all teams do. But like we have seen the Eagles linebackers get picked apart so often. Or opposing offenses are just too smart in today's NFL, man. They'll find the mismatch and they'll blow it up. And you look at Devin White in coverage, straight up liability. He's allowed completion rates of 70% or higher in each of his 4 seasons. He's not a good tackler. His biggest strength is blitzing the quarterback, which the defensive scheme is not changing unless we'll see during, by week 6 or so what that looks like with Fangio. But I don't expect much to change. So they never blitz their linebackers. So
Nope.
I'm going to go into my guy, and I did make a pun there. I'm going to go read Blankenship a little bit. And I don't know. I think people are a little overboard on this guy. You saw the decline in the second half of last year. And, yeah, it was definitely a product of the majority of the defense struggling. But he did have a groin injury that required offseason surgery. But you look at the first 7 games of last year. No, you look at, hold on, where's my notes? You look at the way he started to the way he ended. In the last 7 games of last year, he had 1 interception. He knocked down 1 pass, and he had 6 missed tackles. So not a good number. And if you, depending on how much you love Pro Football Focus, you can take it with a grain of salt for most of the time, but 7 of the 11 lowest PFF grades of his 19 career starts came consecutively to finish last season. So that's how much he was struggling. And to be fair, the entire defense was struggling. But like we've said a billion times on this program, sign Justin Simmons, make Reed Blankenship that number 3 safety, and let's roll.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. Everybody loves the Great White Hope and Reed Blankenship. Calling him Ed Reed Blankenship. I like to say that as to kind of make fun of the situation. But yeah, listen, for a guy who was undrafted, he's doing great.
Right.
But he's still undrafted. He should not be a relied upon big starter for you. You should be spot starting. And as we said all off season, if anybody who's heard myself or Dive, any of the many people on EOP, we've all been saying it. We want him to be the 3rd safety. And listen, I'm glad they went out and got Gardner Johnson, but they need to make the move for Justin Simmons. And yeah, put him on the bench, spot start him, get him out there on occasion. He's good in small doses, but we can't rely upon him anymore. Just can't.
So. All right. Where do you put Jalen Hurts? Because that is the talk of the town.
No.
I just put this poll out. How do you view the narrative surrounding Hurts heading into this season? Is he underrated? Is he just right? Or is he overrated? Any thoughts?
Well, this one's tough because I truly believe that he should be a top 10 quarterback, and it seems like a lot of pundits out there love to leave him off that list. And, I think he's underrated because,
Wow.
yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I personally, I don't think you can put 10 other quarterbacks in front of him. Jalen it leads. He's tops right there up top for wins over the last couple of years. What up, Peter? His stats prove that he's there. He takes good care of the ball. He was an MVP candidate 2 years ago. Through our 10-1 start, he was the MVP candidate. Like, there's the reason for that. Is because he makes the plays when he needs to make. And yes, he did not have a great year last year. It turned out that, again, there was a few things that he kind of regressed on. And some of that is coordinator, some of that is on him, and he needs to prove that he is more of the 2022 quarterback. So maybe that's why he's being left off these lists. But, I feel like, you look at some of these other quarterbacks and they have a down year. They don't get taken off any lists,
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, I love CJ Stroud. I think he could be potentially one of the next great quarterbacks. But he's had 1 year, folks. Like, for the love of Jesus, you're putting at what was it? I think he was number 7 on ESPN's little list. Like, I'm sorry. How many times have we seen a quarterback have one great year and then the next year he falls off the face of the earth?
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time. Let me see it 2 years. And, again, I think Goff on there, it was disrespectful to Hurts. I personally think Matt Stafford being on there is disrespectful to Hurts. I think he is the most overrated quarterback there absolutely is in the history of the league, with the exception of maybe Brett Favre, who is extra overrated. But like some of the, you can't argue with the top 4. So they were right there, and having Dak in there, Dak deserves to be in there. As much as I hate the Cowboys, he deserves to be in there. But Jalen also deserves to be in there. Jalen and Dak Dak should be higher, and Jalen should be in the top 10. If even if you want to put him 10, I'm fine. But I think he should be more like 8, personally. And he has some things to prove. But that's just my opinion. I think these PFF and ESPN and Pro Football, whatever. I think they do a lot of this to drum up the talk, which is working. And radio stations do the same darn thing. Whatever's going to get the most engagement. And I personally hate that. I think it's ruining media. I think it's ruining sports media. But it is what it is, and I personally think that Hurts is going to prove everybody wrong. And, the Chris Sims of the world can go ahead and suck a big fat one.
Peter Thurman says facts.
Yeah.
Rick says Hurts slightly regressed. We all know he's a great athlete, but he's a really good QB right now. We need him to be a great QB. Have defenses figured out pre-snap and have the ball put extremely quick a la Breeze. Yes. So that is the one big thing. We've talked about that on the show a lot, is Jalen Hurts getting the ball out faster, more motion, more checkdowns, more comebackers, more curl routes, more slants, more wheel routes, getting the running backs more involved instead of going for, the big play downfield. Yeah. We're going to see a lot more of that, more of a horizontal offense than a vertical offense.
Well, they went away from the slants, from the like the 10-yard out. Like, I just don't understand the play calling, but I also don't understand the lack of motion. Mm-hmm. And again, I am not in an NFL football franchise, so I do not know who that falls upon. As far as whether that is a offensive coordinator or the person calling the plays, is that hey, we don't need motion, blah blah blah, or is that something that should theoretically be on a quarterback to utilize motion when he feels he needs to be able to help himself read the defense a little better? So I don't know who's that on, but either way, it needs to get fixed. There needs to be motion more. I mean, motion it doesn't hurt anything. All you're doing is helping yourself. Be able to read the defense, see see what coverage you're kind of in. It's the easiest thing in football.
Without question, the thing, one of the top 3 like most exciting things I'm watching during training camp is the extra responsibilities that Jalen Hurts will have under center to read the defense pre-snap, make the right reads. There's going to be more timing routes. There's going to be times when Hurts has to throw the middle of the field and anticipate his receivers and hit tight windows and things like that. Hurts hasn't really had to do that with the Eagles, man. This offense has been built around Hurts, and he's going to be out of his comfort zone a little bit in 2024. We'll see how he responds. I'm excited to see. Yeah. Stanley says Jordan Travis, he's a good quarterback. Loved him at FSU.
Sure.
That injury was brutal, man. I remember it. I'm hopeful for Jordan Travis to get back out there. How does Herbert keep getting on there and hasn't done anything?
Exactly. He hasn't done diddly. It's just all hype. I mean, you look at some of these quarterbacks that are on there, and hence the reason why I have Stafford as my most overrated currently. He's played with Calvin Johnson. He's played with Cooper Kupp. He's played with Puka. He's played with a bunch of really good receivers, and it wasn't for having an elite defense, especially with Aaron Donald. He's a Super Bowl winner. I get it, but like, come on, like, I just don't understand how Matthew Stafford keeps getting onto this list as well. So overrated. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Give it to the defense 1,000%. That's the name of the game. That's the blueprint. The Eagles are trying to retool this defense with young prospects on team-friendly contracts and grow it the right way. There's going to be growing pains, but that's definitely where this is headed. The Cowboys played in the Super Bowl back-to-back, won against the Bills twice. Thurman Thomas, great running back. Emmitt Smith won 2 Super Bowls back-to-back with Jimmy Johnson as a head coach. Okay. Are you guys going to open practice?
I'm not sure where that correlates to what we're doing, but all right. Yeah. I mean, I remember that. I remember Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed, prior to Kutztown University.
All right. Let's wrap it up, man. Final thoughts, plugs. This is our second show on back-to-back nights, but we're getting out of here before All-Star game, the Home Run Derby, and Summer League starts. Any thoughts, plugs, final thoughts?
My thought is all I want to do is run upstairs and go play college football at 25. That is, I'm probably going to be up till about 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
Just playing it, having a great time. I've been waiting for this game for 11 years. It's always been my favorite game. And it got me through to Madden, and when Madden was actually good. So yeah, this was a sweet day. I haven't really got to play it much, but I'm excited about it. But anyway, normally outside of college football, and we will be doing some streaming of college football shortly once we all figure it out. Yeah. I can't wait. I cannot wait to trounce the cherry and the white and beat you pretty handedly with Pitt. But normally Monday, 6 o'clock football smack talk show right here. Tuesdays, the best Eagles show, bar none. Coming at you Tuesdays at 8 o'clock, Birds of the Round Table. And then, of course, as Dives mentioned, we have a Party on Broad college football edition on Sunday, normally at 8 o'clock, where we're talking, during the season, we'll be talking about the games of the week, and we'll be talking about betting, and we'll be talking about players, and we'll definitely
be live streaming college football 25.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, definitely check us out and check out EOP in general. There's literally a show for everybody. I mean, it's insane. We have like over 35, 40 shows a week. With Summer League, literally Summer League post-game show. I mean, what other network has that? Like, seriously, what other network has that? Every Eagles game, every Flyers, every Phillies, every Sixers, there is a post-game show. So please do yourself a favor If you're not following EOP, if you're on Facebook, make sure you follow him. If on YouTube, make sure you follow. If you're on Twitter, make sure you follow. And speaking of Twitter, make sure you follow this guy as well. And just share it out. Let your friends know. Again, that's how we grow this thing, and we're trying to do it the right way here in EOP. And I absolutely love everybody that we work with. Everybody's a hard worker and really wants to grow this thing the right way. So give a shout out to to your favorite sports fan and give a follow.
Yep. FYI, Alec Boehm is hitting first.
Of course.
I just saw the batting order.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
we better go.
All right, guys. Thank everyone for watching. We're ducking out of here. We'll see you for post game after the Sixers crush the Blazers. It's the return of Taquavion Smith tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Watch him back. So that'll be fun. Thank everyone for watching. We'll see you in a few hours. Stay awesome, everyone.